Hey everyone, hope you all are safe. Welcome back to our YouTube channel Break the Gate. If you are new to our channel, please watch our first video and don't forget to subscribe us. So, இன்னைக்கு நம்ம lecture பார்க்க போறது is about glycolysis and gluconeogenesis, the most important and the easiest cycle in biochemistry. So, to start off with glycolysis, first thing about glycolysis is நமக்கு அதை பத்தி என்ன தெரியும். It is an anaerobic process and degradation of sugar molecules takes place where single glucose molecule is being converted to two molecules of pyruvate, and this process occurs in systole of all cells. When do this process takes place? So when ATP is getting depleted, we need some energy to feed our body. So it is an energy producing cycle. When O2 is limited or ATP molecule is limited, this glycolysis cycle takes place, and this glycolysis phase is divided into two phases. First 5 steps includes preparatory phase and the next 5 steps is of payoff phase. Okay, first preparatory phase is also known as hexose phase because glucose is a 6 carbon molecule that is being utilized in this phase, and the second phase, payoff phase, is also known as triose phase. The ultimate product of this phase is two molecules of 3 carbon compound pyruvate. So this is all about the types of phases. Now we'll look deeper into the steps one by one in the next slides. First step is about phosphorylation of glucose. As the name indicates, glucose is getting phosphorylated by ATP by consuming ATP in presence of magnesium ions and giving glucose 6-phosphate. In the reaction, it's also known as priming reaction because this reaction is consuming ATP molecule. ATP molecule produce பண்றது தான் இந்த சைக்கிளோட ultimate aim. But ஆனா இந்த சைக்கிளோட starting day ATP molecule is being consumed. So this reaction is known as priming reaction, and this reaction liberates a free energy of about minus 16.7 kilojoule per mole. இதோட calculation எப்படி வரும்னா ATP ஓட free energy minus the phosphoryl donor ஓட free energy, which is the ultimate overall free energy of this step, and this step is guarded by the enzyme called hexokinase. Hexokinase enzyme is a true substrate nu சொல்றாங்க because this hexokinase blocks the binding of water molecule to the substrate, and hence the binding between enzyme and the substrate is of 100%. And also this hexokinase is a soluble and cytosolic protein. Other facts about hexokinase are hexokinase belongs to a subclass of family transferase. It belongs to a family called kinase. Kinase means transferring the phosphoryl donor groups from ATP to the acceptor substrate. And hexokinase is of 4 types: 1, 2, 3 and 4, and hexokinase 4 is known as glucokinase. These 4 types are mainly found in humans. Going to next step, conversion of glucose 6-phosphate to fructose 6-phosphate. Idile therinjirum it is an isomerization reaction because glucose 6-phosphate la fructose, the compound is getting changed without changing of the functional group, and this step is being guarded by phosphohexokinase isomerase. In the reaction involves enediol intermediate. அப்படினா enzyme ku OH minus ions substrate will donate. So this reaction takes place only in reducing sugars. Okay, make a note out of it. This reaction takes place only in reducing sugars. And what are all the importance of glucose 6-phosphate? Phosphorylation at C1 occurs so that glucose 6-phosphate is converted to fructose 6-phosphate. இப்படி isomer ஆகுறதுனால third carbon ஓட bond cleave ஆகுது. That cleaving will be helpful in the further steps. And the next step, the total free energy liberated here is minus 1.67 kilojoule per mole. Idhula the free energy is mostly equal to 0, which means the reaction can be reversible under equilibrium condition. And the step 3 is conversion of fructose 6-phosphate to fructose 1,6 bisphosphate in presence of ATP and magnesium ion. So in the reaction step 1 mari priming reaction da, because it consumes ATP molecule and the amount of free energy liberated in this step is minus 14.2 kilojoule per mole, which is irreversible, which shows it is an irreversible reaction. The enzyme that guards this step is phosphofructokinase 1, PFK1. In the enzyme it is like a valve. If ATP ஜாஸ்தியா இருந்ததுனா this enzyme gets inhibited. So ATP should be in ample. So the PFK1 gets inhibited. If ATP is less, the activity of this enzyme gets vigorous and the reaction will be even more faster. What happens when ATP is not there? இப்போ ATP கம்மியா இருந்தா this reaction will happen. ATP அதிகமா இருந்ததுனா this reaction won't happen. What if there is no presence of ATP? So the enzyme called adenylate kinase, which converts the free ADP molecules to ATP, and hence that ATPs are used in this step. In step bisphosphate is reversibly converted to DHAP and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. This reaction is an aldol condensation reaction, and the enzyme guards here is aldolase, because aldol condensation the product formed here is ketose plus aldose. The amount of free energy liberated here is 23.8 kilojoule per mole. Coming to next 5th step. This is the last step in preparatory phase, that is the conversion of DHAP to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Why so? Why we need it? Since glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate can directly enter into the payoff phase, but DHAP cannot enter as such. So this molecule need to be converted to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. This conversion is guarded by triose phosphate isomerase, and the amount of free energy liberated at this step is 2.2 kilojoule per mole. Next, coming to step 6. In step 6, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is reversibly converted to 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate. இது எப்படி நடக்கும்னா organic phosphate, in presence of organic phosphate and the free energy molecule NAD+, இவங்க ரெண்டு பேர் இருக்கும்போது glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is converted to 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate by leaving proton. And this reaction is guarded by glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. அங்க என்ன நடக்கும்னா actually the உள்ளார அந்த molecule change என்ன ஆகும்னா the aldehyde group in glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, that is aldehyde group in the substrate la போயிட்டு cysteine residue, enzyme ஓட cysteine residue gets attached, and hence it activates the site to form 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate. It is an energonic reaction. அப்படினா it is a simultaneous reaction which produces NADH by consuming NAD+, and also either intermediate carboxylic acid will be also formed, so it is termed as energonic reaction. This reaction can be inhibited by inhibiting the enzyme. So mercury ions inhibits the enzyme. The amount of free energy liberated from this step is 6.3 kilojoule per mole. Step 7. It is a conversion of 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate to 3 bisphosphoglycerate, that is dephosphorylation occurs. இப்போ வந்து ADP is getting required and liberation of ATP shows this dephosphorylation has been occurred. The amount of free energy liberated here is minus 18.5 kilojoule per mole. This reaction இதை வந்து coupled reaction சொல்வாங்க. The last step, 6th step and 7th step is known as coupled reaction because both the steps are reversible and 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate acts as an intermediate between those product and substrate. The enzyme guiding here is phosphoglycerate kinase, which transfers the phosphoryl group, and this step is also known as substrate level phosphorylation because substrate level dephosphorylation occurs. So it is known as substrate level phosphorylation. The overall reaction of step 6 and step 7 is, as I have mentioned here, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate in presence of ADP, organic phosphate and NAD plus gives 3PG, where 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate acts as an intermediate in forming 3-phosphoglycerate. In next step, 3-phosphoglycerate is converted to 2-phosphoglycerate, where the enzyme guarding is phosphoglycerate mutase. Idhila phosphoryl group is getting converted to next position, that is its position is getting changed, and the amount of free energy liberated here is 4.4 kilojoule per mole. In step 9, removing a water molecule gives the product phosphoenol pyruvate, and this reaction is known as annulation reaction because இப்போ இந்த stepல வந்து low energy phosphoryl group is getting converted to high phosphoryl group to make it stabilize, and this process is known as annulation. And the final step is conversion of phosphoenol pyruvate to ultimate product pyruvate, which consumes ADP and liberates ATP. The amount of free energy liberated here is minus 31.4 kilojoule per mole. In the reaction guide pandra enzyme pyruvate kinase, and here also substrate level phosphorylation takes place. Inge vandu I have mentioned the structural change. Enol form la irundhu it is getting converted to keto form. So enol form la irukudhu phosphoenol pyruvate, keto form la convert aayirukadhu by consuming ATP, it's getting converted to pyruvate. Okay, that gets involved often in all the energy cycles, including glycolysis, citric acid cycle, for pentose phosphate pathway, and electron transport chain, everything. So you should know about this one, how to make equal to ATP. And now we'll discuss about the overall cycle. 6C glucose molecule is consuming 2 ATP and producing 6C hexose bisphosphate, and in payoff phase it is ultimately converted to 2 molecules of 3 carbon compound. So now we'll enter into enzymes. In the cycle use ஆயிருக்க enzymes எல்லாமே phosphorylated enzyme. Why it should be phosphorylated? Since the substrates which involved in this cycle cannot transport themselves out of the cytosol, so they need to go out to reach mitochondria for energy production. In the substrates எல்லாம் வெளியில போகிறதுக்கு they needed transport. So these phosphorylated enzymes act as a transporter. They help in moving the enzyme plus substrate compound out of the cytosol and helps in reaching them into mitochondria. So coming back, what are all the enzymes we have used? First I'll go with the glucose 6-phosphate. Coming first to glucose 6-phosphate, the product formed in first step. This product can be stored and can be oxidized and can be used in different types of reactions. As I have mentioned here, glucose 6-phosphate can enter into glycolysis as fructose 6-phosphate, and this can be stored as glycogen in liver and muscle cells. Glucuronate and glucosamine 6-phosphate type carbohydrate synthesis ku help pannu, and glucose 6-phosphate can enter into pentose phosphate pathway to help in synthesis of 4 carbon, 5 carbon, 6 carbon molecules, and 1,6 bisphosphate. It is known as hard and young ester found in inorganic phosphate, which is responsible for stimulation of glucose in blood serum. So blood serum la start agakodiya glycolysis, this is a stimulator. 1,6 bisphosphate is a stimulator, and it is also known as hard and young ester. In step 3, the enzyme used is PFK1. Now munnade sonna mari PFK1 is a valve control of glycolysis. If PFK1 is high, energy status will be low, because it is inversely proportional to ATP. ATP jastiya irundha, this enzyme gets inhibited. In step 4, the enzyme used is aldolase. Aldolase is of two types. In animals and plants, they get inhibited by sodium borohydrate and it goes for nucleophilic attack. In bacteria and fungi, they are not inhibited by sodium borohydrate, and the active site, the enzyme requires an active ion, zinc ion, to get activated. In step 5, triose phosphate isomerase. Isomerization of a product occurs, and this enzyme is an example of catalytic perfection, because G3P வந்து டைரக்டா கிளைகாலிசிஸ் குள்ளார என்டர் ஆயிரும், ஆனா DHAP ஆல என்டர் ஆக முடியாது. நான் முன்னாடியே சொன்ன மாதிரி தான். So this enzyme directly converts DHAP to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So there is no wastage of DHAP. Every molecules produced in this cycle are getting consumed inside the cycle. No molecule goes as waste. And the overall free energy liberated from the preparatory phase is 2.2 kilojoule per mole. In step 8, phosphoglycerate mutase enzyme is guarding the reaction, and the enzyme வந்து they require 2,3 bisphosphoglycerate in small amount to make it gets activated, because during enzyme turnover the substrate வந்து active site leave பண்றதுனால during enzyme turnover the substrate will dissociate and leaves the enzyme unphosphorylated. So therefore enzyme needs to be phosphorylated, and hence 2,3 bisphosphoglycerate is always required in small amount to activate this enzyme. 2,3 bisphosphoglycerate is found in erythrocytes, which helps in binding of oxygen with hemoglobin. Oxygen hemoglobin oda bind avradhukku this enzyme helps. There is about 4 to 5 millimolar of 2,3 bisphosphoglycerate present in erythrocytes. In step 9, enolase reaction. Enolase reaction sonna mari rearranging the substrate form from low energy form to high energy form after hydrolysis. After removing water molecule, the substrate is getting transferred to high energy molecule. Before removing the water molecule, the free energy of a substrate is minus 17.6 kilojoule per mole. After enolase reaction, that is after rearranging the substrate, the free energy of the substrate product formed is minus 61.9 kilojoule per mole. And this enzyme, the enzyme involved in this step can be inhibited by the presence of fluoride. In step 10, pyruvate kinase is used. Pyruvate kinase வந்து AMP and fructose 1,6 bisphosphate can activate it. At the same time, pyruvate kinase gets inhibited by ATP, presence of over ATP, acetyl-CoA and alanine. So what are all the other substrates apart from glucose that enters into glycolysis are fructose. First of all, we start with fructose. Fructose வந்து like glucose, it reacts with ATP and gives DHAP plus glyceraldehyde in presence of those two enzymes, fructokinase and aldolase. In muscle tissues and liver, fructose reacts with ATP to give fructose 1-phosphate and ADP. Next is mannose. Mannose, like the former, it also consumes ATP and produces mannose 6-phosphate in presence of hexokinase, and after it is getting isomerized to fructose 6-phosphate galactose. This pathway is also known as Lenoir pathway, alternative pathway of glycolysis. Lenoir pathway. Galactose consumes ATP to produce galactose 1-phosphate in presence of galactokinase. The மூணு substrateக்கும் காமனாக இருக்கிற first enzyme வந்து belongs to kinase family, which shows that the transfer of phosphoryl group from the substrate to the product. So getting back to this pathway, galactose consumes ATP and produces galactose 1-phosphate, which is again being converted to UDP galactose in presence of transferase, and this is converted to UDP glucose by epimerase enzyme. Next is glycerol. Triglycerol in presence of ATP converts into DHAP. So in the 4 substrates பார்த்தோம்னா they lead to glycolysis without the use of glucose, and they all are consuming ATP. As such so they are priming reactions. So let's move into the fate of pyruvate. இவ்வளோ நேரம் enzymes பார்த்தோம், steps பார்த்தோம், and the substrates formed we have seen. So now we are going to focus on the product formed after glycolysis, that is 2 molecules of pyruvate. In the pyruvate அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன ஆகும்? We know the pyruvate will get into the citric acid cycle, but apart from that and the pyruvate வேற எங்கெங்கெல்லாம் யூஸ் ஆகுது? So when we assume for catabolic process, that is degradation of this molecule, there are 3 types. Anaerobic condition it forms ethanol. In aerobic condition, lactate is formed during vigorous exercise. So this lactate is need to be converted again to pyruvate. Appadan glycolysis will happen. So the molecule requires NAD+, and NAD+ is given by pyruvate. So lactate accepts this electron and generates NAD+, and hence the glycolysis phase continues. When it gets oxidized, pyruvate is getting oxidized, it enters the TCA cycle as I have mentioned earlier. What if in anabolism process, that is it should act as a building molecule. So this pyruvate helps in building carbon skeleton for alanine and fatty acids. The amount of free energy liberated in converting lactate to glycolysis is glucose is minus 25.1 kilojoule per mole, and the ethanol fermentation, the reaction is maintained at equilibrium condition. This is the reaction of forming pyruvate to ethanol. The pyruvate is first converted to acetaldehyde and then it is converted to ethanol. So coming here next to gluconeogenesis. Glycolysis we have seen the steps and the enzymes involved and what are the enzymes, importance of the enzymes, and the fate of pyruvate and the product of pyruvate. So next we are going into gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis we all think that gluconeogenesis and glycolysis are reversible reactions. It is an alternative pathway. No, it is not an alternative pathway. Glycolysis 3 steps are irreversible. They require high free energy and they are not reversible at normal equilibrium condition. Those reactions are bypassed by some gluconeogenic enzymes. Because gluconeogenesis edukagana producing glucose from pyruvate. So pyruvate la irundhu glucose produce பண்றதுக்கு gluconeogenesis pathway is being used. எல்லா ரியாக்ஷனுமே அப்படியே reversible கிடையாது. 3 reactions in glycolysis are irreversible. அந்த reactions எல்லாம் gluconeogenesisல எப்படி bypass ஆகுதுன்றத மட்டும் தான் நான் இப்ப சொல்ல போறேன். Other than these 3 reactions, the 7 remaining reactions are reversible and they are same as in glycolysis. So let's move into those 3 irreversible reactions. First is converting pyruvate to phosphoenol pyruvate. Step 10. First we'll go into the step 10. Pyruvate is being converted to phosphoenol pyruvate. It is not an reversible reaction, so it is getting converted or it is bypassed in gluconeogenesis by 2-step process. First, pyruvate is being converted to oxaloacetate. Oxaloacetate is converted in presence of pyruvate carboxylase. Those enzyme is an biotinol enzyme which requires biotin for conversion. So the reaction of this first step is pyruvate in presence of ATP converts into oxaloacetate and ADP. Coming to next step, oxaloacetate consumes NADH and it is forming malate. Because adhe malate form pannuduna, it needs to leave the mitochondria. So oxaloacetate is being converted to malate and leaves the mitochondria. It is again then reoxidized to oxaloacetate, and in presence of phosphoenol pyruvate kinase, it is being converted to phosphoenol pyruvate. So the reaction of this second step is second step is oxaloacetate in presence of magnesium ion converts itself to phosphoenol pyruvate and liberates carbon dioxide. The overall reaction of this step, that is conversion of pyruvate to phosphoenol pyruvate, happens by consuming ATP and GTP with a liberation of free energy of about 0.9 kilojoule per mole. NADH in the rendu steps produce and consume NADH are balanced effectively. First step produce NADH malate mitochondria cytosol போறதுக்கு help பண்ணுது, and the consumed NADH it is helping in reconversion of oxaloacetate. So the amount of NADH produced is balanced effectively and consumed effectively. And this is the conversion of lactate to phosphoenol pyruvate. If pyruvate is not there, pyruvate la irundhu phosphoenol pyruvate kondu vara mudiyala, only lactate is available, means this cycle is being used. Lactate is first converted to pyruvate in presence of lactate dehydrogenase, and it leaves the cytosol and it reaches mitochondria as oxaloacetate, and in presence of phosphoenol pyruvate carboxylase, it produces phosphoenol pyruvate, then leaves the mitochondria. So in this and the former reaction, 2 different enzymes are used, but the product and the substrate used are same. So the next step is conversion of fructose 1,6 phosphate to fructose 6 phosphate, and it is an irreversible process. It happens by adding water molecules to the substrate, and the amount of free energy liberated here is minus 16.3 kilojoule per mole. It is an exergonic reaction, which means it is a spontaneous reaction due to the liberation of high free energy. Then the last step, irreversible last step in glycolysis, is conversion of glucose 6 phosphate to glucose. இது எப்படி நடக்குதுன்னா, as such in the earlier reaction, addition of water molecules in presence of glucose 6 phosphatase. But in the reaction no synthesis of ATP is required, and the amount of free energy liberated here is minus 13.8 kilojoule per mole. The importance of glucose 6 phosphatase, they are found only in erythrocytes of hepatocytes, renal cells and epithelial cells of small intestine. Comparing, so the total comparison between the glycolysis pathway and the gluconeogenesis, the first reaction is gluconeogenesis and the second one is glycolysis. Idhula pathina 2 molecules of pyruvate is being consumed for producing 1 molecule of glucose, which proves it is an expensive process and energy consuming process. The amount of free energy liberated here is minus 16 kilojoule. In case of glycolysis, 1 molecule of glucose is being used to produce 2 molecules of pyruvate and 2 ATP molecule is being produced, which shows it is an energy giving reaction or energy producing reaction. At the same time, the glycolysis cycle also involves 2 priming reaction. At the preparatory phase, they consume 2 ATP molecules, but they are getting compensated by producing them in the period. Here is minus 63 kilojoule per mole, and the 3 irreversible reactions are there in glycolysis which have high negative free energy. So we have seen about glycolysis and gluconeogenesis. What is this glyceroneogenesis? The conversion of pyruvate to triacyl glycerol phosphate. Pyruvate வந்து glucosa மட்டும் convert ஆகாம they are also getting converted into glycerol. This process takes place only in adipocytes and the reaction is as follows. Pyruvate is converted to oxaloacetate as same in presence of pyruvate carboxylase, and it is converted to phosphoenol pyruvate. Ultimately they are converted into glycerol 3 phosphate and which produces triacyl glycerol phosphate. This is the overview of the cycle. Now I will full mention panla. There are several steps, but this is not of much So that's all about today's video. If you are happy with this lecture, please like us and subscribe us, and also don't forget to comment. If you are not happy with this, and please give us some suggestions so that we can improve for your convenience. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe. Happy learning.